Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do a love oracle for today. Today is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Look at the beaner. She goes to the doctor tomorrow. Hopefully she's healing really good, because I want to take her in another 2 weeks to get the rest of her teeth done. Like, I want it done and over. We're going to use the Faded, a Pocket Love Oracle by Athene Noctua. Take what resonates, it all might resonate. It's affirmations. I got a little distracted there. Let's see if we can get any cards out of this tiny little deck. It's literally 12 cards, y'all. Hi, homie. You okay, buddy? We got 1 on the table, 2 on the table. Three on the table. 4 with bottom of the deck. Huh. Interesting. We got learn more about each other. We got release the desire to control. We've got red flag. And we've got romantic connection. Okay. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. Electrolyte drink. I feel like somebody's in a connection or getting ready to get into a connection. And God is saying, try not to control everything. Just let things happen naturally. This is a romantic connection, okay? This is romantic. However, you might believe that you see red flags. So I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something, and this may not be a popular opinion. You could see red flags in somebody, and that could change over time. That could change with conversation, right? Is she looking at me? Is she giving me the eye? If you were to have a conversation with, let's say somebody's too controlling, okay? And you get into this relationship with them and you're like, okay, you have a control problem. That is something that you would have a conversation with them about, right? Like, that's a red flag for you. You have a conversation with them. If they're willing to work on that and you actually see them working on that, that's a good thing, right? That's healing. That's somebody willing to work on themselves. If you mention the red flag and they're like, oh, no, that's a one-off, or you don't know what you're talking about, or like they just brush your concern aside, then that's a problem. There's a difference between somebody willing to work on themselves and heal themselves and someone not. And I'm also going to say this too. If you have a conversation with somebody and you're trying to get a point across about anything, and they are deliberately like, no. That is a red flag. If you're not open to discussion, if you're not open to conversation, if you're not open to learning, then you're not healing. And people need to figure that out for themselves. And it's not our jobs as lovers, as friends, as family to heal people. It's not our jobs to get them to that place where they recognize that they need to heal. It's their job to get to that place. I'm just saying, sometimes if you have a conversation with somebody, you might be surprised how they actually might be willing to change and grow and heal. Okay? So don't just automatically throw away a romantic connection. because you see a red flag and you're like, okay, I'm out. But maybe you need to say something, right? Like, say something. I'm just going to use this as an example, but it's kind of like the opposite. I've gone walking with this guy from work a couple times, and I think I've talked about him before. Um, I don't know how, I'm just going to say it. He's disgusting. He's disgusting. He's Yeah, he's disgusting. We went on a walk on Sunday morning, and I'm pretty sure he was trying to figure out whether or not I have an OnlyFans. Like, he was baiting me to see if I would tell him if I had an OnlyFans, because he would try and look for my OnlyFans and sign up for my OnlyFans. Yeah, I have an OnlyFans account, but there's nothing on there. I never did anything with it. It's just floating in the ether. Um, I would never give anybody from work, man or woman, my information for OnlyFans. It would never fucking happen. I would never do that because I think that's disgusting. Like, I no. Like, if someone were to happen by it by chance, okay, whatever. But I'm not going to go around to work and be like, hey, subscribe to my OnlyFans. Hey, I got titties on OnlyFans. Like, subscribe to my OnlyFans. Like, I would not do that. And again, I don't have anything on there. So I don't advertise for it. I don't even have it on my link tree because there's nothing on there. And originally I was going to do like nude type stuff. That was after my divorce. And then when I started doing YouTube and tarot and oracle, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do tarot and oracle on there. I just don't see the point. Like, I could, but what's the point? I do it here. And are you going to really go over there and pay, $5 a month to hear tarot readings? I mean, maybe you would, right? $5 a month isn't bad, but I don't see the point. And again, if anything, I would probably just go back on there and do nudes. I'm not gonna lie, like, but yeah, he's very unenlightened. He's very unhealed. He's a 60-year-old man who is not willing to compromise, and that's fine. But I'm a 45-year-old woman that would compromise, but not with a 60-year-old man, and not with a 60-year-old man that acts like that. He literally told me he has only ever been in relationships where he's given 50-50. And he literally expects a woman to cook, clean, take care of him, do his laundry, wipe his ass, all that shit. Why would I, as a 45-year-old woman, want to get involved in a relationship with a 60-year-old man who is 200 pounds overweight, has diabetes, can't control his alcohol issues, can't control his eating issues, can't figure out how to exercise on a regular basis, chauvinistic, pig, chases after younger women, only ever thinks of sex, and at the age of 60, that's kind of alarming, doesn't own his own home, barely owns his own car, and doesn't want to work. Like, he literally doesn't want to work. Like, he is one of the laziest people I've ever met. And he doesn't do anything outside of work. He's not creative at all. Like, he doesn't write, he doesn't, like, the only thing he does is he follows around tribute bands and gets drunk in bars, and that's his thing. That's not at all my thing. Like, we have nothing in common. And I've told him more than once, like, we don't have anything in common. Why would we be together? But yeah, he is a giant red flag, and him and I have gone walking twice in the last month. Saturday was an accident. I just ran into him, and then Sunday we met in the morning when we were supposed to have that really big snow that never came. Um, he doesn't listen, and I tried to explain to him. I said, okay, you're used to being in relationships where you do 50-50. I said, I can do 100% on my own. I said, when are you going to do 100% on your own? And he just looked at me. And I'm like, seriously, like, that's alarming to me. That is literally alarming to me. Forget about the fact that I took care of the ex-husband for 10 years financially, for the most part, 90%, right? I talked about that the other day. Forget about that. I can do 100% on my own right now, owning my condo, having my car, working, doing OT. I can do 100% of my own bills and stuff and take care of myself right now. He has never done that, ever. And he's a man. Think about that. Think about that statement. And I don't want to hear like, oh, when you're in a relationship, you have to compromise and you should do 50-50. I don't want to hear about that. Literally think about what I'm saying to you. I, as a woman, have been doing 100% on my own for almost 3 years now. It'll be 3 years next week. I think the 18th. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect at all, right? I'm not perfect at all, but I still manage to take care of myself. I still manage to keep myself fed and my cats fed and the heat on. And this man, who is 15 years older than me, has never done 100%. He literally lives in a house that he shares with 3 or 4 other people. His rent, which he was complaining about because they were missing a person, they were short a person, so they all had to pay more in rent for this house every month. He was complaining about his rent going up because the one guy left a few months ago. Sir, you don't pay anywhere near what I pay in rent and my HOA. And you're complaining about, an extra $100, $150 a month, whatever it was. Again, he's never paid for 100% of his bills. Never. Think about it. He's a man, a 60-year-old man. The sense of entitlement that is in his voice when he talks, as if he deserves 50-50, as if he deserves a wife to take care of him. He's been married twice. Now listen to me. My ex-husband, married twice, right? Married to the first wife, married to me. I would rather, and I'm not putting this out there. I'm just saying this as an example. I would rather marry my ex-husband again and live with my ex-husband than live with this motherfucker. That in and of itself. Anyway, that is an example of the complete opposite. If that's something that you encounter, if that's the vibe you get, those are red flags you can't ignore. And if you have a conversation with somebody and they completely disregard everything you say, as this man did to me, then that's a problem. But if you can have a conversation with somebody and they actually show interest in healing and they actually do it, they put in the work, that is different. That is possibly something you might want to hang on to. I'm just saying. I'm going to leave it there because I rambled on long enough. I hope everybody has a great Tuesday, and I'll talk to you later.